I'm Michael Bain and welcome to Triggered. Coming to you, of course, from the secret hidden bunker in the Rocky Mountains in Dragon House Studios, and brought to you this week by Hunter's HD Gold. They change, so you don't have to. Best shooting glasses in the world. And you know, last week I showed you that beautiful Ed Brown 1911, said this is just about perfect. I thought I might continue that theme this week with something else that's just about perfect. This is, actually just got it back, it is a Cimarron 1873 Deluxe Short Rifle, which is pretty much the absolutely top of the type 1873 replicas that you can get, made by Uberti in Italy. And this particular gun originally came in 44 Special, and gunsmith Ken Greiner Gun Works, he overhauled this gun, converted it to 44 Russian, little stubby 44 Russian cartridges, plus he did a complete action job on it for Cowboy Action Shooting, which, if I can show you, it has been short stroked. The stroke on it is really short, really easy, really good, makes for just a super rifle, and obviously it's for cowboy competition. Why 44 Russian? I find 44 Russian a fascinating cartridge. It's kind of a gun nerd type thing. We'll talk about it a little bit more in the second segment. But this gun, it looks good. It's got an incredible trigger job on it, incredible action job on it. It's been shortened up, and Ken built this plate, this steel plate for the butt plate, giving me a flat butt, if you will, on the back of this gun. I'll eventually fit a leather cup over it, which will give it about another ½ inch, which will bring it to about a 13½ inch gun, which is what I like for competition shooting. I like to keep those guns short. You'll notice the other thing he did is this doesn't have a buckhorn sight. It's got a very flat across here sight and in the notch opening, so it makes it really easy to pick up the front sight, although in cowboy shooting at 15 yards, really it's not that hard. But it's a sport I enjoy, it's a round I enjoy, and one of the reasons I wanted to have this gun built is 44 Specials are getting very rare in the wild, and that's because typically people either want 38 357 or 45 Colt. 44 Specials are kind of a disappearing breed, and I wanted to have one more 44 Russian gun made up before they disappeared. This is one of my 44 Russian handguns, 71-72. Colt open top, made of course by I think Uberti as well, and this one is from I think Taylor's, and it is a magnificent handgun. To me, one of the most beautiful handguns you can get. So hey, I might not be able to win in cowboy action shooting, but I will really have the nicest looking gun. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about that 44 Russian cartridge. This week's Triggered is brought to you by Rossi. The legend continues. Stoger, everyday tough. Hunter's HD Gold, they change so you don't have to. MTM Case-Gard, quality shooting sports accessories. And Ed Brown, the best money can buy for over 50 years. Welcome back to Trigger, where it's Michael Talks About Obscure Cartridges Day. This is my first 44 Russian conversion. This is a Yellow Boy 1866 replica, also made by Uberti. This particular one I think is from Taylor's. And sometime around, I don't know, 2014, 2015, I had it converted to 44 Russian because I really wanted to shoot a gun with similar ballistics to the original, which was in 44 Henry rimfire. When these are the guns essentially that pretty much won the West. These are also the guns that pretty much slaughtered a lot of Custer's troop at the Little Bighorn. Very, very common gun after the Civil War. And so the 44 Russian cartridge, originally made by Smith & Wesson for break top revolvers at the request of the Russian government. I thought they were interesting because I was fascinated with the 44 Henry. And secondly, it's kind of a neat cartridge to work with. Essentially, you can think of it as it's the little baby brother of the 44 Magnum. So you got 44 Russian, 44 Special, and then 44 Magnum. One interesting thing about this gun is the conversion, which involves changing the lifter, which is really hard to see, but somewhere in the depths of there you'll see a little thing sticking out that catches the short stubby cartridge as it comes out of the magazine tube underneath. If you just try to shoot a 44 Russian in a 44 Special or 44 Magnum lever gun, they're too short. The cartridge will go all the way back, and a second cartridge will come and jam the entire things up. So this particular carrier was made, like I said, 2014, 2015. It will run regular length 44 Russians. The new carrier in the Ken Griner gun will not do that, and that's because the guy who made the old lifter setup has left the building, and kind of as a consequence, it's a new lifter setup made by a different company, a different gunsmith, and it's not really for 44 Russian, but it's for 45 Cowboy Special. 45 Cowboy Special is 45 Colt short. The reason you want a shorter cartridge is it's more efficient burning, it's not as dirty. It's just better all around, cleaner all around, which makes a difference when you're running thousands of rounds through the gun. But this gun, again, has been a tank over the years. It shoots extremely well, has very many of the similar modifications. And the interesting thing about these, that the only thing you watch out for, is that when you place these rounds in, you push the loading gate, push the rounds in, you have to have a little bitty stick to push them a little bitty further in so everything catches. If you don't do that, once again, you'll jam your gun up. And when you're a cowboy action shooter, you will find a way to jam every single gun ever made by man on earth. When we come back, we're leaving the Old West and going straight to plastics.
You know the RIA 5.0 packs radically new innovations, but we didn't stop there. Introducing the RIA 5.0E. The E stands for enhanced, as in new optics cuts and plates. The updated barrel is crafted with improved materials and slide geometry. The look and feel is also enhanced. Plus, new lightning cuts show off the updated match-grade barrel. Experience the enhanced RIA 5.0E today.
Okay, take a look at this. It's an MTM Case-Gard pistol rest. This is an absolute plug for the product, but it's not coming from me initially. I was talking to a friend of mine who listens to the podcast, longtime listener, and he goes, hey, I know that MTM Case-Gard is a sponsor, so I got their catalog, and have you ever used their pistol rest? I said, no, and he goes, it's got to be the greatest thing ever made. It's all plastic, it's all adjustable, it's easy to adjust, it weighs less than a pound. So this is something you can carry with you, you stick it in the range bag, it's not a big deal. And I said, oh wow, maybe I should get one to take a look at it. I have other pistol rests, they're all big and they're heavy and they're steel, and all that is good until you have to carry them a mile or so to a range somewhere. So I ordered this from MTM Case-Gard, and it is a great product. Essentially, all you got to do is pop it right here, and you can adjust it up and down. And it does weigh. It weighs about 15 ounces, so less than a pound. This Y section here underneath will store inside the bottom of it, so it really can go into your range bag. It has the lordly MSRP of $24.95. which means you can actually get it for less than that. This is a super thing to carry with you. That's it for this week. You can find us on michaelbain.tv, where we have links to everything. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Rumble. You can find us on X. Until next week, get a good rest for your pistol.